Hi, this is Bill for SparkyChannel.com. Today I'm going to show you how to replace shunted brushes on a Black & Decker MM875 electric lawnmower. I will put a link in my video description that will provide you with a complete list of all the Black & Decker electric lawnmowers that these brushes will work on. Almost all electric Black & Decker lawnmowers use these exact same brushes. I mentioned that these brushes are called shunted brushes. The shunt is the braided copper wire part. The brush is generally made of graphite or carbon. The brushes bring electricity to the motor through the commutator. The brushes must make contact with the commutator for the electric lawnmower to run. If your electric lawnmower is not running, one thing you can do is use an electrical tester like this Greenlee GT16 adjustable voltage detector and test to see if electricity is getting to your mower. If the electricity is getting to your mower but your lawnmower is not working, the problem may well be a worn out brush. It is wise to change the brushes prior to your mower ceasing to run. The brushes are designed to wear out and to be replaced. Unplug electrical power prior to starting this project. To change the brushes, remove the black hood from the mower. You will need to remove 4 screws. These screws unfasten with a number 20 Torx driver or a number 1 flat screwdriver. Here is a set of Torx drivers. I'm going to select the number 20 and use it in my DeWalt impact gun. There are 2 screws on the top of the hood and 2 screws on the sides. Now remove the hood. It is a good idea before we get started to vacuum out all the old grass clippings and dirt. This is the motor that turns the blades. These are the spring-loaded brushes. Remove the plastic brush cover. Again, it takes a number 20 Torx or a number 1 flat screwdriver to remove this screw. Now remove the plastic brush cover, and if you have a bowl or something like that, put it in with the rest of the screws and so forth. Now remove the other side plastic brush cover. There again is a number 20 Torx, and put that in your bowl. Okay, here's the original connection. It's a little crimp connection. It's a very small connection, and now I'm pulling out the spring mechanism with the shunted brush, and there's the brush right there, and this is going to show you how the spring mechanism works. The spring has to keep the brush in contact with the commutator the whole time it's running. A good thing to do is to just put the brush holder back where it goes. That way you won't lose it, and it will remind you in which direction it goes in. Okay, now I'm going to cut the wire that goes to the shunted brush. I'm using some diagonal cutters. Snip it as close to the connection as you can get so you don't lose length. Here's the old brush, and notice how worn it is. It looks a little burnt even. So it was time to replace it. Here's a new brush in comparison. It's the one I just bought from Amazon.com, and it's the one we're going to be installing. Now strip a new length of clean stranded wire. Okay, and get a small crimp connector. This is a standard crimp connector with a spade end on it, and I'm just going to cut the end off it with my diagonal cutters. Okay, now put both the wires in the connector. You need to get a small connector so that they fit tightly. Okay, I got them both in there. This is a Klein crimping and cutting tool. I'm going to use the smaller slot and get it right in the slot and crimp it down real well. Use a good quality crimping tool. Okay, so I got that real good. Now I need to make it a little smaller to try and fit it in their existing slot. So I'm going to cut the end of it off. That's not where I crimped it. It's just a loose end. Okay, so that's a pretty small connection there. Now put the crimp connection back in the hole that the crimp connection was originally in. If you can't get it into that hole, there's a Black & Decker provides you with a larger slot right next to it. Now put the shunted brush back in the spring-loaded shunted brush holder. Okay, test out to make sure the spring works properly and make sure your shunt, that is the wire, is in its proper groove. Now put it back in exactly the way it came out. It's spring loaded, so there you go. It's in now. Okay, this small hole here, it wasn't sitting flat, so I'm going to put it in the larger groove that Black & Decker provides. That hole just wasn't big enough. As there, I'm going to put it right in there, and that's going to work just fine. Now I'm going to replace the plastic shunted brush cover, and you tighten up the number 20 Torx. Okay, I got that good and secured. Now I'm going to remove the connection from the other side, and I'm taking out the shunted brush and the shunted brush holder. Okay, so I'm going to put it right back in where it was so I don't lose it. And here's the same connection. I'm going to cut it right there, right before the connection, so that I don't waste any wire. Okay, so here's the old shunted brush. It was pretty burnt out and worn down. So now I'm going to take my wire strippers and strip a new end on the wire here. Okay, and here's my standard connector, and I'm going to put both wires in the crimp connector, and I'm going to use the Klein crimping and cutting tool. Okay, get it right there on the end and give it a good crimp. Okay, now I'm going to cut off the excess with, those are channel lock diagonal cutters. Okay, so now I'm going to put them in the larger slot that Black & Decker provides. It works out a lot better. Okay, now I'm going to put the shunted brush cover back on, and the fastener. And tighten that up. Okay, so the wire's nice and tight. Now let's test it out. Okay, it's running quite nicely. And here you can see the brushes, how they connect with the commutator. And there's a flash right at the end. That's pretty typical of brush motors. Okay, now put the hood back on. It's going to take those 4 connectors, number 20 Torx. Use my little impact driver with the number 20 Torx on there. Okay, we're all tightened up. And here I'm testing it out again. Sounds good. Now we're ready to go mow the lawn. Now let's meet the stars of the show, all of which you will be able to find links for in my video description. The Black & Decker replacement shunted brushes, the DeWalt 20-volt brushless impact driver, the Greenlee GT16 adjustable voltage sensor, the Torx driver set, the Klein crimping and cutting tool, channel lock diagonal cutters, and the Black & Decker MM1800 12 amp corded electric lawnmower. Thank you. I hope this video was of help. Hi, this is Bill for SparkyChannel.com. Today I'm going to show you how to replace shunted brushes on a Black & Decker MM875 electric lawnmower. I will put a link in my video description that will provide you with the complete list of all the Black & Decker electric lawnmowers that these brushes will work on. Almost all electric Black & Decker lawnmowers use these exact same brushes. I mentioned that these brushes are called shunted brushes. The shunt is the braided copper wire part. The brush is generally made of graphite or carbon. The brushes bring electricity to the motor through the commutator. The brushes must make contact with the commutator for the electric lawnmower to run. If your electric lawnmower is not running, one thing you can do is use an electrical tester like this Greenlee GT16 adjustable voltage detector and test to